Hello, everyone. Hopefully, you've been having a wonderful day. Everything is chilled out. Couple of things that I kind of noticed in my last stream. Like, I was thinking about how I would want Aki's shadows to work. And I realized that, like, leaving them, like, static like this, for example, like, when I take her lock off, like, it's, like, the shadow of it is not painted on the left, but is painted on the right. I mean, reverse that. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, I should probably make that its own layer. And that way, like, if my hair moves, the shadow will move with it once I rig it properly. So, just thinking of that's something that I was thinking about. I don't really know how that's going to work out yet, and if it'll work as I expect it to. So, for the moment, I'm planning to kind of leave it half-half. And that way I can experiment with both and see which one looks better, and then I'll just come back into art and do the other half. Or, like, for example, if the one with the shadow looks better, I can then just draw the shadows on the other side and kind of fix that. Otherwise, I can just do the skin over the shadow if the non-shadow looks better. Additionally, I've essentially finished everything, like, short of her. Like, I'm done with her face, basically. Done with her hair for the most part, except for the big piece in the back. But to get at that piece in the back, I need to cut out her upper body. So what I'm planning to do now is kind of like cut her neck into its own layer, add a little bit of extra room up there for her neck, and then go ahead and just cut like this entire part of her like upper body out. And then we'll just go from there. I have to figure out how I'm gonna do some other specific pieces, but I think today, for the most part, I'll just kind of focus on that, and then if I have extra time, I'll do more pieces that are just bigger, that are easier to cut, that I don't really have to do that much work for, because there's some research I would want to do before I do the rest parts. But I think we're getting close to the part where we're mostly just gonna start shifting into rigging to really like figure out if I've done everything correctly, and we'll probably start switching back and forth from now on to like fix mistakes that I made and kind of just go from there. So my initial goal for today is I'm going to cut her neck, this specific part right here. I'm going to cut that out, add a little bit of extra shading at the top just so that if I move my head side to side, there's extra stuff there that you can see. I remember there's them saying like you want to make the neck a little long, so that was thankfully done for me by Yabi, so I don't have to add that much. And then gonna cut this entire like upper part out. I would say just this part. Like you can see my cursor kind of going around. And that way I'll have all of her hair in the back, kind of finally have a canvas area where I can actually work on that. And then I can cut the entire back. I can paint in the entire back and then start working on that. That'll probably take the entire stream, but we shall see. Hopefully that goes well. And so I guess that pretty much covers all of the thoughts I wanted to kind of go over. Hi, Sasha! I just finished explaining what I was actually going to do for today. Thank you so much for raiding. So, this is the actual... Move my mouse. Thanks for coming in. Hi everyone, how are you today? Hopefully you're having a wonderful day. Oh no. Give me just a sec. Music volume is a bit on the loud side. My mic was a bit far away. This should be a little bit better. Or should I turn the music down still? Hi, Ari. Hi, Ronnie. How's Yasha? Great to see you all. Glad to see that you're all doing pretty well today. Thanks for coming by. Thank you so much. It's great to have friends. Hi, Lumi. How are you? Let's see. I'll probably do like this area. Okay. I am also sleepy. Jello. Yeah, so for today, I'll just recap what I just said briefly. So I'm mostly done with her eyes, her hair, and everything. I can show you what I've already done so far if you're interested. But for the most part, I'm just going to work on cutting her neck out today, adding a little bit up above here, cutting her entire upper body out into one giant piece, and then kind of in-painting all the hair in the back. And so at this point, I'm getting kind of close to being able to start rigging, so we'll see how that goes. Hi, Laura. How are you? Yeah, these are the kind of nice chill streams that you can just throw on and leave in the background just for nice music and things like that. Though if you're actually interested in the process and have any questions, please let me know and I'll be happy to answer to what I can. And if you like an explanation of what I'm actually doing right now, I would be happy to provide that as well. Just let me know. Otherwise, enjoy the chill vibes. Yeah, we're gonna put that extra row up here. Glad to hear that you're doing fine and just working. That's the best. You can just have a nice, relaxing day. Alright, take a nap, Sasha. Be safe. Take care of yourself. Your health is important. Being here, Laura, will help you dispel the creepy vibes. Only wholesome vibes here. Creepiness, go away. And to answer your question, Lumi, I would say either, like, I can show you a little bit. I'm not like comfortable doing it right yet, but I'm getting to a point where like probably next stream would involve some rigging. If not near the end of this stream, but there's still, I'm like really precise with a lot of my selections, so I'm looking forward to the rigging being a gigantic pain in the butt because I have so many layers and things that I have to work on. And getting them all to move together is going to be fairly challenging. Yeah, today we've got sleepy vibes. It's kind of amazing that we've already been at this for 10 sessions now. Come a long way in 10 sessions. It's been quite the journey. Yeah, streams like this are also really good to just chat and just enjoy. CNC rigging. Did you draw the art yourself from scratch, or did you like cut an existing model, or how'd you go about it? That's amazing. I'm so proud of you. Maybe since you've got some more experience, I can even ask you about some of the stuff that I've done. If you're interested in potentially helping, like with just knowledge sharing. And like you said that you did some things that you ended up not liking. So I was wondering if you like maybe have learned from your mistakes and can share some words of wisdom. Yeah, exactly. I'm totally open to advice and anything, any recommendations for improvements, things like that. As you can see, I like personally, I would say cutting is harder than it looks. Rigging is also harder than it looks. Perfect, actually, Wallara. That pretty much sums exactly my feelings up. Lou made me think differently, but I definitely think, especially cutting, for the level of precision that I want, I feel has been... The cutting itself isn't hard, it's the in-painting that's hard. It's especially so because I'm not an artist, so I had to kind of like learn by experience in a way. Okay. Yeah. This is probably... Let's follow this curve over here. Like the thing that I would say I found the most difficult so far is if you have to in-paint an area that crosses over like a lot of boundaries. And also you have to be careful because when you like cut, it still leaves behind areas that you then have to like fill back in. Most people won't notice it at the like standard resolutions, but still it's something that I would say the reason the rigging is hard is because it's not only that you have to kind of figure out the keyframes for each animation that you want to do and every animation that you should have. It's also the fact that you're going to have to tie several things together and rig them differently so that they all move in like a good way. Oh, your model's hoodie was empty, was missing. Oh no. Yeah, after I finish like cutting this area, I want to show you like all of the areas I've cut thus far and see if you have any advice for me. Let's see. Though you can tell like I'm being pretty in depth and like trying very hard not to. do any like imprecise movements. That was the autosave. Sometimes it freezes it up, and it terrifies me every single time. You'd think I'd have gotten used to it after like 30 hours. But nope. Still freaks me out. Augmentation? When you say augmentation, what do you mean? Check the other side. Was I consistent with grabbing the shadow? That was. Oh, physics? Or is it a different procedure? Because, like, the golden rule I know for all of that is if it needs to move, like, properly, it needs its own layer. So the more you want things like that to move... Oh, I see, augmentation. I will look into that next time, like in between this and next stream. I'll look into augmentation videos as well. Some kind of learning on the fly as well, like you are. Though you're farther ahead given that you've actually gotten to use your model. I have yet to get to that point, hence the PNG tubing. Actually, wait, no, I don't want this part, actually. I'm liking it, actually. It's a lot less stressful because, like, I would say it's easier to... It's both, like, better and more frustrating. Because I like being able to easily, like, change the mood like this. And I don't have to worry about the model, like, spazzing out whenever I'm, like... Whenever, like, anything isn't, like, exactly perfect for it. Like, the Animes one would spaz out a lot. Like, it would start blinking a lot, it would, like, jitter. Actually, let's try this. Yes, I do, Tachi. Hello, you cake. Good to see you. I'm happy that you're here. Thank you for coming by. Appreciate the company, everyone. So, Lumi, you said you find it easier. How were you rigging? Were you, like, for example, like, are your eyes complicated? Like, my eyes were very, very hard to cut. And and I expect rigging for them, and they're actually going to be pretty nightmarish. Yeah, I set my stream up to be very low latency so that there generally shouldn't be much delay. This feels like I'm cutting her face, and I shouldn't do that. Actually, let me not do this. Arara? Arararara? Got it. It's probably someone who has left their keys or something. I'm assuming they'll be fine.
They're mine now.
Thank you very much for following. I do not actually. I will scroll up and show you, Looney. Like, I had 2 or 3 entire sessions devoted solely to her eyes. Like, that's how complicated they were. It was very hard. Thyme, that is an excellent question. You can't Ara? Why not? Thank you, Avo. I'm glad that you enjoy the mood. That's what I really like these to be. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to get up to the pro version when I go back into it. I got the free trial for a bit, just to like play around with it while I was actually trying to rig. And then I realized just how much work I actually needed to do and was like, oh, this definitely isn't gonna work. Okay. Let's... But you can see like a little like random gray specks here. Those are from me actually having cut her face. So like those are like some of the little overlap particles. Yeah, if I can actually successfully rig Aki and like I have a good time with it, I might I might take commissions to do cutting and rigging, like based on how she comes out, but obviously I would need to finish myself first. Okay, this is fine. Let's copy paste this. Cut and paste rather. This is now neck. Now I turn everything else off. Deselect. Let's just add a little bit more up here. I can probably use a bigger brush for this part. I shouldn't need to add that much more though. Okay. Like, this is just so that, like, when I turn my head, there will be, like, still dark areas underneath. Like, I plan to, like, slide her head down just a little bit. So hopefully, like, no one ever sees this area. But we'll see once I get to rigging if I, like, need to add more or anything like that. I doubt it, but we'll see. Yeah, I would see, like, someone would need to pay me a lot of money to, like, cut their model on top of everything else. So if I turn the head back on. Okay. Oh, see, these are my eyes, Lumi. Can you see them? See why these would be so hard to rig? If you look at, like, let's look at her left eye. Each of the highlights is their own layer, and then this large area is its own layer, this area is its own layer, her actual eye, and then I had to do the in-painting behind everything. So, let's look at this eye, for example. See, I can turn everything off and I had to, like, in-paint behind them. So, I can turn, like, each individual light in her eye on or off. Nice, Laura. So, like, now that I've done all of, like, the in-painting behind them, there's also, like, the actual eye itself. So I have to rig each of these lights together, like, but individually, so that as my eye moves around, they will... Yeah, but the shine is separate because I made it separate. Like, each shine is in its own layer. Like, I actually did that myself. It's not like it was drawn that way. So I had to actually, like, cut out each individual shine. Yeah. So, yeah. But the problem is then I have to, like, rig each shine individually so that, like, they each move in the way that I want them to correlate to her eye movement. I'll probably figure out the eye keyframes first, and then I'll figure out the motion movements. Okay. But see how now if, like, we look at the main image, there's this kind of, like, weird white line around where I cut everything? I haven't figured out, like, how you make that stop. So... as far as I've noticed, well, Laura, I would say no. Yeah, you need to have things overlapping. So let's see. Yeah, I'd say let's draw the right colors for this. On the net one. Like, I usually end up just, like, redrawing areas that have that, which basically creates the overlap that we need to fix that sort of issue. Yeah, like, in terms of in-painting, I've gotten so much better at it compared to, like, where I started, though. Like, for example, this kind of an area, like repairing it with like a good look, I would say, is a lot easier than it would have been when I started. Let's go down a brush size. Just kind of grab that a little bit. We have no more. But yeah, so okay. Thank you, Avo. Thank you for lurking. I really appreciate it. It's still a supporting move. Yeah, I don't think anyone can tell that that was though right here, probably. It's a slight color correction, maybe. But yeah, like, see the level of like detail that I'm working at. I don't think most people would notice, like, if I make really small mistakes. But like, for example, this streak right here, this bothers me, but like by the time you get to 1296% notification, it's already barely visible, but it still bothers me, the fact that it's there. But to me, it's also one of those things where, like, I put Yabby through a lot to draw this, so I feel like I both owe it to myself and Yabby and everyone who potentially would support me to, like, do my best in making this. I don't want to be lazy. Like, then it wouldn't be special and it wouldn't have been worth all of the effort that we put into making it together. Gold pieces there. Like, they don't look like they were intentionally there. They might have just been a result of the cut. Okay, I can paint over that then. This one in particular doesn't want to be painted over though. So yeah, Lumi, tell me more about your rigging process. Did you like go through as many layers as I have for like each individual component? Is your artwork like the same degree of complexity, or like what are the differences? I want to use you as best I can to learn from you. Ha. Wanda. Hai, 終了です。Also, for like each hair piece, for example, I did her ornament is 2 layers, one for the actual like thingy that hangs down that would swing around, and then one for the actual like main piece of it that stays together. So this part will swing around independently. So that's a separate layer. Then for each of her ears, the fluff is a different layer than the main ear. So you can like, I didn't like fully, it looks like I didn't fully in-paint underneath her ear fluff. But I think that's fine, mainly because you would never see that part, probably. Like, I'm pretty sure on her other ear, I did do it all the way, though. Like, it's just a difference of, like, yeah, I did. It's a difference of when I did it. Like, I think her left ear was, like, the very first thing I did. And then, for her hair, each of, like, the little lines in her hair, like, you can see, like, this is its own layer. This is its own layer. The centerpiece is its own layer. That's its own layer. And then that's its own layer. So what I'm trying to do today is yeah. So like I'm expecting her, like I might have to in-paint her ears to fix that. We'll see though. Cause like usually it's welcome back, Sasha. So like my goal for today is to like cut all of this entire area, like up to her sleeve, and then like in paint her hair behind that, and we'll see if that works. Yeah, so like that's what I have for like, I mostly want the outside to move as one piece, but the inner fluff should move differently, so that's its own layer. But it's just that I don't think people will see behind the fluff. Unless you mean like different parts of the fluff, like the outer part of the fluff moving a little bit more than the inner part of the fluff. That I didn't think about. I'm not sure how to visualize that, so I haven't done that level of like separating the fluff. So I fixed the issue with like where I cut her neck. You don't see any of the white particles anymore. Her neck must be above her. No. Interesting. Is that her head? Oh, I see what I did. I see. Her head should be in front, right? Let me double check this. Interesting. Is it that this should be behind it? Interesting. I'm not exactly sure what caused this. Like, I thought it was just layering order. Also, I don't know how I'm gonna do her foxfires because they have multiple glow layers. And glow layers tend to be weird. But like, you see how her neck is already like relatively long? I was actually gonna move like her head down a bit. Like maybe like this, basically. Maybe here. I don't know. I'm like trying not to do the creepy thing. But you see what I mean? Where like if I move this down slightly, if I turn side to side, there will probably be like, see how like there's not as much space there as you would expect? But like, yeah, there is like her hair. But I literally am working on that today. Like that's today's objective. So of course that hasn't been fixed yet. Speaking of which, let's hide her neck. Let's hide her eye. Let's actually hide everything that I'm not working on right now. Close these. Oh, I do need the rest of the image. And I can hide her neck. Okay. I've made a mistake. So like her flower should be its own layer. I probably should have cut that first before I cut her neck. So this is like the hard part where like I'm not sure how to like fix this now. Where I accidentally cut off like the clip of her thingy. Since this is now no longer one image. Like theoretically, I can just cut out her bow from the main image. And then the piece that's missing I can cut from the other layer. And then just put them into their own layer together. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Alright, so let's... Oh wait, that... That also means I have to inpaint behind her amulet. Yeah, this is gonna be work today. I hadn't thought about that. Okay. How do I wanna do this? I'd say let's just cut it out first. We'll worry about the rest later. Oh no. Yeah, so do you think this is like a good thing to have cut out? Because like I could leave it static, but I'm wondering if it would be better to like have it, like if I'm turning, this should probably turn too, right? Like if I'm moving left and right, this should probably move. And then this little inner flower should also be its own layer. Yeah, I've been so used to thinking of like, this is one component. hadn't really thought about it. Yeah, so I think I'll cut the entire outside, and then I need to make holes for the inside. So we can do like that basically. And then I can cut this out into its own layer, and then I'll make these two their own layer after that. The flower on the ribbon, because I was thinking this entire like pink thing would be one layer, this yellow thing would be another layer, and then this tail down here would be a third layer. Do you think it would be different? And if so, how would it be different? See, this is the sort of thing that like having someone who's already done it, who can like actually answer the questions, is like really nice to have. So I'm very grateful that you're staying and answering all my questions. So thank you. But you're saying like up to 8 layers. I'm not even sure what the other layers would be. Oh, you mean like each like loop of the ribbon would be its own layer. So that instead of like moving together, they would move like individually. I see. That would immediately rocket this to 7 layers, I think. Yeah. And that's exactly why I'm like trying to use Lumi's advice. Okay, so then we can just grab these. Okay, so another thing I was gonna ask, like I haven't really researched this much yet, but for like breast movement, should they each be in their own layer, together in their own layer, or some other combination? have the skill to like add on. And I gave Yabi lots of stress working on this, so. Yeah, how do you layer that? Is it all one area? Do you split each one into its own layer? Some combination of the above? Are they multiple layers on each side? On each side? Or just one per? Like multiple on each side, or multiple layers but one per side? Like, I also feel like I want to, like, there are so many times when I'm doing this that I just desperately want to just go, let's use the select, like, the auto select. Sasha, なんでいつも急にあらら本当にこれは一番珍しいですよね。あら。いいかな。Yeah, each one is a separate part, so underneath I would need to fill the color too. I see. So Lumi, personally, did you find cutting or rigging harder? Or did you just, like, since you knew you were going to draw for a VTuber, did you just draw in layers such that you didn't have to do the cutting? Really? I didn't think each one would be that many parts. I'm starting to get worried. I mean, they're important to me, so I would want to do as many as I would need to. I guess let's put it that way. The only thing is that since I'm an amateur with both cutting and rigging, it's more like I won't Like, I don't have the experience to know exactly how much I should do. Yeah, but see, you also have the capability to do that. Like, you can just be like, oh, I'll just, grab this extra part, and if it's not that big a deal, I'll just redraw it. Like, it takes me a very long time to redraw parts of Aki. Because, again, like, I'm not a good artist. I wouldn't even call myself an artist at all. Like, I can inpaint and repair, but I, like, learned that doing this. But it's still one of those things where, like, just due to lack of experience, I still make mistakes that make more work for me later. But it's not like I intentionally went, oh yeah, I know this is gonna be a problem later, but I'm gonna do it anyway. It's more like, I legitimately don't know how to do this, so I will leave it like this and try both ways. Or, like, I think I'm doing something that's for the best, and then later on, after I've gained a little bit more experience, I reflect on it and I'm like, maybe that wasn't the best move. let's go fix that. Like, an excellent example of that is cutting the flower. Like, I legitimately didn't even think about it until after I'd already cut the neck, and then I was like, wait, the flower needs layers. And as you said, like, you would make 8 layers out of this, and I hadn't even thought about it. It's just like I thought of, like, the concept briefly crossed my mind of like, yeah, I could make multiple layers, but I didn't truly think it would be necessary, or even like necessarily look better, to have more than like the 3 layers that I'd originally planned for the flower. And then you're like, you should have 8. And I'm like, oh no.
10 stars!
Sasha's having a lot of fun. I'm glad. Please do let me know if you want any other sound bites added to that. I can add them after I'm done. Exactly. Like, that's kind of how I've been considering it. As like, I also have only tried to rig a little bit thus far. Oh, hello? Oh no. My pad is freaking out. Stop. Okay. That was odd. My pen freaked out for a little bit there. Thankfully, it was just a simple undo, but still. But like, for example, see how like many areas this ribbon crosses over? Like, in painting behind it is gonna be such a pain. Oh, that's right. Okay, Lumi, there is a question I want to ask you about shadows. I am so glad I remembered to ask you this. It's important enough that I am gonna zoom out just to like ask this before I forget. Okay. Yes, I am. I'm using a tablet. Okay, so you see how I turned her hair off? And there's this like shadow pattern right here. So I drew that in, thinking that I would put that shadow potentially in its own layer, and then when I'm moving around, like, there will be a hair shadow like underneath my hair, like, as it's moving. Do you think that works? Or do you think I should leave it like, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Or do you think it would be good to just leave it like blank, like I did on the other side? Like, I left them one way each, just to see like which would be better. Like, what do you think? And like, I did a little bit of fraying on the edges. Like, if you look really close, you can kind of see like I tried to make them like blurred, like little hair strips, so you can see them. Like, if I put, where is it? I would need to put on, it's not this, it's like the long bang, right? This would be your left. So you can see like kind of underneath here. Like, I left it a little bit shorter so that there would be more wiggle room with it. I didn't want to like have it overlap this part too. It was hard enough in painting like properly over here. But do you think having the shadow works? Like, I don't know if you use it yourself or not, but I'm wondering. Oh, Shrade said something. Oh, you cut the like request for me to say it. Wow. So Lumi, what do you think about the that particular pattern? Like, do you think that makes sense as to what I did there? And should I do the shadow and then, like, as we just discussed, put it in its own layer? Or should it be no shadow and just leave it, like, alone, like I did on the other side? So yes, shadow, and make sure it's on its own layer. Understood. Alright, thank you for the feedback. My workload has increased once again. Yay! Yay! I need to find the clip that I'm quoting and put that in for one of the blurbs. But yeah, at the same time, I'm like, okay, you can put that in. Tachi, do you have permission to do it or not? I don't know if I gave you permission or not. I don't think you can. I'm not sure if you can or if only I can do it as, like, channel owner. Because I know you're one of my... I know I gave you mod, but I don't know if it lets you. You can try it. More choices is not a bad thing. I think I've still got like 30 slots or something left for additional choices. Okay. Please put it in the Discord so I can look back at the channel after this and remember to do it, please. Oh, also, Rich was up for joining us for Trine 3. Yuyake is not today, so I thought that would be fun. Hopefully, is that okay? So what I think I'll do... Okay, thank you. I'm glad that that's okay. Thank you. Welcome back with the spaghetti. That's a lot of spaghetti. That's a lot of spaghetti. Something like that. I can't remember the proper intonation for that accent. So help me, I will cry tears of blood. So Rich, a recap of what you missed. Lumi has made me cry tears of blood. Isn't that exciting? About some of the stuff that I did. The good news, I'm on the right path. The bad news, there are some areas that I haven't done yet that I was like, oh, this is probably like maybe 2 layers, right? And Lumi's like, you should probably have 8 there. And I'm like, oh no, oh no. But at the same time, it's something that I would want to do, And knowing now makes it easier to do rather than like having to go back and do it later. Like, for example, I completely forgot about her, like this little hair thingy, that like the little amulet thingy that I'm doing right now. Like, I completely forgot about that being a thing. And I was like, I would do this in 3 layers. And Lumia's like, oh, you might want to do 8 here too. And I'm like, oh, I see why. I'm just like not sure that I have the skill to rig it. But at the same time, it's like, while I'm at it, I may as well. Rich has the spaghetti, but we will forget. Momoretta wasuretta. Suretta wasuretta. Which from Mercury was so good. I'm excited for the 2nd season. Obviously, we're going to be spoiler free today, but... Oh, that reminds me. I figure I'll ask everyone here while I'm at it. Have any of you played Eye of the Somnium Files, or do you like the game, or do you not like it, or... Any opinions on it? So from what I've seen is it's basically like it's in the same line of Danganronpa and Ace Attorney, but it's more voice acted than those two, and it's more about like crime scene, like forensics, like detective investigation, rather than like court cases or trials. It's more like you're the actual detective, like the police detective in charge of solving the case. Of a serial killer. There are also times when like I zoom in this far and I like lose track of what I'm actually working on. Oh, Ghost Trick is getting remastered, by the way. Did you hear about it? Ghost Trick, I'm glad that you enjoyed Ghost Trick. I was like trying hard to get you to play it, and then you were like, you actually did finish it. That reminds me. Potentially. It's been so long. I wouldn't be surprised if Rich was the one who actually made us aware of it. Lumi and my suffering. Save me. Save this poor, pitiful child from our work. I did buy a bunch of tea recently as well. And then I realized like I don't have a tea kettle, so it's kind of hard to prepare it. And I like meant to order one off of Amazon and I just forgot. So nice. That does remind me I should get a drink. Hydration is important. Don't slap me for that. That's mean. be okay though. Still though. How much time do I have? Wow, it's already been like an hour. Plus. I want to see if I can like make this work properly by like I have a feeling like the problem that I have with the auto selection chart. Oh wow, they doubled up. I'm glad that one is popular. I'm drowning in Nico Nico Ni. That reminds me. I was thinking that like as you said like before I break out Nico Nico kneecaps and I'm like, is that the like reskin where like it's a rocket launcher that just has Nico Nico knees on it? Ashino Nawa power. Oh, by the way, I finally got to a point in Nikke where my long-term rival has stopped fighting me. It is such a relief. You have no idea. We've been fighting each other back and forth for days on end. Like months on end.
Good job.
Thank yous. And I finally realized that in order to win, I couldn't build 3 great teams. Which is what I was running and what we kept trading off wins, like. Exactly. I would fight them and I would win like 2-3 or even 3-2-1 or even 3-0. And then they would fight me again and just take it back. And we just did that back and forth for months. But they were willing to spend crystals to maintain their spot. So, and I wasn't, because it's a 300 crystal difference. So, I was wondering, like, how are they always beating me if I'm winning this much? Clearly the difference is their attack team and their defense teams are 2 different setups. And their defense team isn't set up in a way that like mirrors their attack team, because if it was, I would just build around beating their whatever they're actually using to beat me. So they're like leaving their defense as is so that they don't have to deal with me like building to counter them. And it kept going like that until they finally made like a shift and like whaled a bunch to get way ahead of me in levels so that the power difference was so much that like I couldn't beat them just because of power creep. And then I started catching up and I realized that rather than going for the 3-0 and just having like a good overall solid team build, I should go for 2 absolutely cracked out teams. And then my third one can be merely good. But my other 2 teams should be essentially like meta defining. Like either you run this comp against it or you lose. And if you don't have the units to run the counter comp for it, then you just lose to this comp. So I didn't look at any guides, but I like sat there and planned for like 20 minutes, looking at all of my units and their abilities and being like, what are the two best possible teams I could put together right now? And I put them together. I took rank 1 back, and I logged in the next day and I was still rank 1. And I was like, this is the first time I've ever held it for a full day. And I haven't lost it since then. I do wish our union was a bit stronger though. Lumi has put the fear of breaking into me. I wonder if Lumi like also like I should ask how many layers Lumi's models have. Sasha, do you know how many layers Lumi's models have? Because that will help me a lot. Because if I knew that, then... Because I was expecting Augie to end up with at least a couple hundred layers. Though I'm not planning on doing, like, below her... like, midriff. It's probably only going to be, like, a couple layers, just because I don't have the space to do like capture that would be more interesting than that. It's like I'm still gonna cut her legs and stuff appropriately, but hi Shrade, how are you? Do you have a question or are you just chilling out?
Hello?
Oh. What have you been meaning to tell me? I'm curious. Kini narimasu wa? Okay, good. I was like, oh, I haven't gotten responses yet. I'm a little sad. But, oh, I see. That would explain it. You're in P. Oh, wow. You go to bed super early. For me. So I'm guessing you're in a different region? Oh, interesting. It's actually not a different, like, region. Like, not outside, like, oh, outside of the US. You're in a different zone. But yeah. Lumi, you see what you made me do? I was gonna cut out like her entire upper body today, and then you were like, you should do many layers for her flower. And then I'm like, Oh. Oh, Neil. And now my like sense of obligation won't let me leave it alone. Speaking of which, that's a very fun and catchy Mustache song. Leave It Alone. No, it's good. It's something I would have like. It's something that I'm glad to know. It's just I'm allowed to complain about it being stressful. If I didn't actually want to know, I wouldn't have asked. But I think you can see like how carefully I try to like cut everything. Like the objective of these streams is actually to put people to sleep. So, or like if not put them to sleep, at least chill them out to the point where that would be like a feasible thing. So it would make me happy if you were like, I'm so chill, this is so chill, I'm just gonna leave this on and go to bed. These, like, I want to do them more often just because, well, two reasons. One, they actually do chill me out, despite like all of my complaining and all of that. These do actually do pretty good wonders for my psyche. But at the same time, it's also that every time I improve, I realize, like, it's like, oh, like originally I was like, I might actually be rigging by the end of this month. Like, I'm getting so close to being done with our upper body. And then it's like, actually, you've got another 3 hours to spend on her flower alone. I don't think you do, Shrade. Oh, that was reminding me. I had an idea for something I wanted to potentially co-op with you and your friends and like a bunch of like, maybe even Sasha as well. I like wanted to do something with like racing through Tara with carts, like planned out a route and everything, had like things, and I wanted to like have a couple of my friends like standing in different places recording so we could have like different perspectives of the track at different points. Exactly. And I even planned out like different routes for each lap, so it's not us just running around the same place each time. Oh, my computer can definitely handle all of them. I'm on a laptop, but I have a very, very strong laptop. I believe you hit like, yep, there we go. Tachi has put up the spec sheet for my laptop. Thank you. Actually, it is. Like, I've got 64 gigs of RAM. The memory isn't going to be an issue. Head pats at the finish line would be wonderful. He'll be mine now. Also, I meant to say this earlier, but I believe I heard someone follow me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I am truly sorry that I didn't get to say it earlier. I was just really focusing on something and I like blinked out for a little bit on what I needed to say. I'm truly sorry about that. Thank you. don't think I want to get some of these blue. Anyways. Someone. Don't kidnap me. No one will pay for my ransom. You just end up with an unhappy floof on your hands, who you will have to feed all of the things to. Oh, okay, good. I did think someone. I don't know. I feel like no matter, like, let's say I manage to like get everything done and I end up being like a super popular streamer, I feel like I would always want to, if possible, take the time to thank each person. Sometimes it's not always like feasible, but thank you. Thank you very much. I will accept it as soon as I'm done. But like, this is one of the questions where I'm like, do I want to potentially... Oh, Indra, I'm gonna make a Streamlabs thingy that'll have like the stream info of like gifts and subs and stuff like that, so I will... Your name will be up in lights soon. I'm sorry, I just haven't had the time to really set everything up. And then Tachi's probably going to be up there too.
Yes.
Okay, I think I'm like almost done with the flower. I'm gonna cut it out and then... Like, the thing is, I'm not sure how much I'm gonna move, so I don't know how much I need to like in paint. Unless the answer is just everything. My eyes are watering. I'm trying hard, friends. I'm wondering if I might like start adding extra, like an extra Aki stream at some point, just to like... I feel like if I enjoy rigging, I'll probably do that. More rigging streams. But as much as the art streams chill me out, they are also like a lot of work and they take like my entire evening. In terms of like the amount of concentration I have. Like, I feel like right now, for example, like my concentration is slipping a bit, so I'm making more mistakes in terms of like which am I like letting blue particles stay inside, things like that. So the current amount is kind of like how much I know I can continue to function at like relatively high capacity. It's still enough for me to like go back and fix. There also becomes a point where it's like it would be better to just take a break for a bit and come back another day. Okay, cool. I think we're done. Yes, we have everything. Cool. Okay. Cut and paste. Flower. Ornament. And this should get its own folder. Just in case. Let's call this flower ornament. I am not. Is there anything interesting about flower? Flower. Okay, so for now, let's turn this off. And then I want to go to her neck and then cut and paste it here too. Awa. Awa. Okay, please tell me that this got... Yes, it did. Okay, so now I can move it up here. And then I can merge these two layers. Make sure these are the only two selected. Yes. Merge selected layers. Perfect! I was able to fix my mistake. Okay. So now's the hard part. Look at how much in painting this is. This is so much in painting. I've only got 45 minutes left. I'm not sure I can finish this. Also, Lumi, are you still here? I have another question for you. So now that I've cut the neck ornament out, I left the holes behind as appropriate. But my question is, there is, you can see how there are shadows for that. Should I also cut those shadows and put them in their own layer? Or should I paint over them? You see how over here there's this edge, this shadowy edge underneath it. So do I cut that and put it in its own layer as well? I don't know how to handle that. Because the alternative is for round 1, I only cut this into 3 areas. See how that looks when I go rig it and then come back. I mean, the problem is that I have to worry about in-painting it too. Because whether or not the shadow in its own piece or not is determines how I'm going to in-paint here. Because for example, I would in-paint it to look more like the shadow area right now. But if like that shadow area is in its own zone, it's like, do I like finish the in-painting and then cut it out? And then in-paint underneath it again? Or do I just leave it as is for now and then just in-paint as if the shadows were there? Okay, we can come back to that. Something big that I want to do though is like, you see how I haven't finished in-painting the back of her hair? So something, hold on, let me see if something big I want to do with the rest of the time today is I want to cut out her upper body. So hold on, let's use lasso. Like, so what I wanted to do was, like, I'm not sure if this is a good idea or not, but I wanted to cut essentially, you can see how like I've already cut her face out. I wanted to basically cut everything from like here. Actually not like that. I would want to cut like this out, like all of this area here. Well, actually no, this would be included too. Oh, I forgot to do inclusion. Okay, so let me do a new selection. Let me redraw this. Like, I'm gonna be really fast about it just so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. At this point in time, I don't have the thingy, but I do want to move my arms. Yes, my breast would move. But what I'm saying is, what I wanted to do was cut this all out in one layer at first, just so that I can get behind it and do the in-painting on the back of her hair and just have her hair actually be done. Because I haven't in-painted, like you see how there are these two strips right here. I haven't in-painted those because I wanted to do like the back of her hair all in one go. But like I feel like I would need to get everything in front out of the way to get at the back here. And I would want each of them to move. So the question then is, let's say I want my arms to move. I would expect instead of cutting everything like this, what I would want to do is cut like that basically, like include that part. Like this part basically would be one layer for her arm, right? So I would cut like this basically. But the thing is, since that clips into her breast, I would need to actually cut like, so I'm thinking like one of my first cuts would be something like this first, basically. And then that allows me to like in-paint the rest of her sleeve that's underneath. Right? And like the clothing that would be underneath that. And then I would cut her arm separately. So it'd be like, cut these first. And then I would have to, of course, subcut these as well. Like you said, there would be like 4 parts. When you say 4 parts, like let's use the left one, for example. How would I do that? It's like I would like just going off of my basic expectation, I would think. Why is it locked in? Oh, I see. Because I would expect like it to be like for the first one, like okay, go away. I would expect it to be like this is potentially one layer. Like I obviously like misdrew a little bit, but you know what I'm trying to do. But you said there should be multiple layers, so where are the different layers? That's what I would like to know. Or if you have a tutorial for that sort of thing that you used, please let me know. Okay, so that would be like if I had just cut this part out, there would be like this is like the left half, and then I would have like the other part as like the right half. Well, let me draw that at least a little bit better. Like that, basically. Interesting. I'm not sure how I'll do that. I see. I hadn't considered that. Thanks, that's actually pretty difficult. I think these are going to be like, these are going to take so much of my rigging time. Okay, thank you. That is actually really helpful to know. So in that case, I've got 30 minutes left. You mean like right here? Or do you mean like once I cut them because they wouldn't like necessarily overlap perfectly? I would need like each layer to like have more edges that don't technically exist if you look at the image like as a whole, and like when you layer them correctly. But so like if the right side is stretching and the left side is like moving, like you can see like the under part of the left side that's usually covered by the right layering on top of it. If that was hard to understand, I can write it down. Okay. Kind of like what I did with the neck, but somewhat similar. Okay. This is actually going to be like super hard. Wow. Okay. So I don't have enough time to do massive in-painting today, so I think I rather would just like to focus on just the general cutting. Oh, I see. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, okay. So let me change this then. Let me add more folders. Let me add more folders. Folder. And then I would need to make another folder. like the main reason I just don't do that as much is because I'm actually at the 100 server limit. I need to like free up some servers, but I have some I can free up. Just can you send me the DM for the server invite? Okay. So in that case, oh, Shreed already did. Okay. Oh. Yep. Okay. I need to clear out a full thingy so I can join that one. Let me see. I'm pretty sure I can leave this one. Wait. Okay. Okay. I have this spare slot now. And I'm immediately back up to 100. Okay, there. No, he sent me the server. I just joined it. Okay, cool. Thank you for the invite. I will definitely look at this afterward. So, I think for the last bit of stream, I probably want to... I want to do this. Let's do something. I guess let's grab from here. Oh, that was unfortunate. I hate it when it lags like that. Okay. Okay. And then let's just get rid of all of this. I hate it when it does that. Oh, okay. So Lumia's, just before you go, is this like a good starting point for this? And then I'll need to inpaint the chest and then have this resting on top? I would also need to hide the neckline. Okay. Okay, thank you. So then, let's do this moving edge, cut and paste. Let's rename that. That's not quite enough. Also, this is right, not left. Okay. So then I need to move this all the way down here. And into this folder. Okay. So like that, basically. feel like I might have misclipped that. Yeah, I didn't clip it quite enough. Okay. Let's just undo the creation of that layer. Okay, cool. Rich is having a lot of fun. Zoom in very close and just go from here. I learned a lot today, so I'm happy about that. My workload has increased exponentially as a result, but I think chocobos taste like, they would probably taste like, what part of the chocobo? That's my first question. Because in terms of what I think a chocobo would taste like, I think that's a good question. I would, like, just thinking about it initially, I would say closer to chicken, but maybe on, like, their wings, the meat would be closer to turkey. Like, I think chocobo wings would taste like turkey wings, but chocobo thighs would taste like chicken thighs. Why did you randomly zoom out on me? No, because Final Fantasy 15 has shown that they don't. I would think it would... I mean, surely there is a multiverse out there where they do, but I would think that it would depend on whoever developed the car. Like, if they were a fan of chocobos, then yeah, it would be like chocobo power. But in a more scientific society, they might actually just, like, call it by, like, what it is, like, rotational torque, like, rotations per minute, or, like, they might actually just list the force torque and just call it, like, torque or whatever. Torque generation. Because correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the only reason we have horsepower is because, like, they were like, when they were designing it, they were like, this is as powerful as having 20 horses. And it just kind of stuck. Look at my horse. My horse is amazing. The only reason to know about this is because someone else earlier today mentioned their horse. And it just reminded me of that thingy. Unfortunately, I don't know the rest of it. I just remember, this is, look at my horse. My horse is amazing. And something about lemonade, but I don't remember what. Perhaps that's for the best. I would say. It feels kind of surreal to think that, like, we're down here and I was like, oh, I might be able to rig by, like, the end of the month. I was like, I expected to be here. But then I, like, have just realized just how much more work there is to go. For this level of detail work, I can't trust the auto selector either. Like, every time I've tried to use the auto selector, it was like I needed to have already cut out the thing first. Because Imperial units make absolutely no sense, and I don't understand why we haven't switched yet. That is an excellent question. That is an excellent theory, Meteorio. Sorry about that. Yeah, horses are way heavier. It was a good thought, but still, horses are heavy. No, Meteorio is fine. Small horse. Small. Tiny, small horse. Wait. Okay. Now I can't stop thinking about it. Of like, why is it that way? Mysterious thoughts for the day.
Not like this.
I'm probably still going to be thinking about this like late tonight. I'll be wondering in bed, being like, why is horsepower like this?
No.
And now you will be too. How wonderful. We'll all be sleep deprived together. It is, but you see, I am constantly in a state of sleep deprivation. and I ask others, don't get sleep deprived. Leave that to me. 12 hours. Imagine. Reminds me of, I don't remember who it was, but there was a famous engineer or inventor in the past that they didn't want to waste their day, like enough of their day just getting like normal sleep. So they instead, wait, no, this is right. Okay. So they instead like devised a way that they like never actually slept properly, but they instead did, what do you call it? Like they did multiple like small naps constantly throughout the day instead of actually just sleeping. Like altogether it worked out for them. Like they were able to, yeah. But like I think it was even shorter than that, like. Oh no, stop. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't either. Like I can't nap, that's the problem. Like I'm sleep deprived and I also can't nap. Like I don't have like fully like I don't have medically defined insomnia, but I have insomnia. So I take sleeping meds every day to get to bed. As long as I take them in advance and like normally it's fine, but I also know that I need to bring it up next time. Yet this stream. Last stream I hummed a lot and it was nice. I generally don't have nightmares. So I feel sorry for you. What kind of nightmares do you have? Tell me your fears. Also kind of weird because like I eventually developed lucid dreaming and then since then I just stopped dreaming at all. And it was like, come on, I finally got to a point where I can like actually enjoy these things. Rich, that's just a Goosebumps novel story, actually. Like I'm not even being facetious about it. That is actually like the only that was my first ever Goosebumps book. The one where the sentient tornado chases you around them. So that one's actually Goosebumps. Oh wow. My nightmares were like not unrealistic things, but they were all the scarier because they were like hyper realistic. Where it was just stuff that would actually like just inflict massive emotional damage on me.
Emotional, damn it.
Exactly. Like, monster chasing me? Fine, I can deal with that. Tornado, like, ripping me into shreds? Okay. Slime, like, splitting me in half and, like, taking over my corpse by inserting herself in the middle? Sure, I can write a story about that. But mine is, like, but, like, having, like, me happy about something, and then like my insecurity is getting pointed out, someone kicking me to the floor and being like saying all of the horrible things that like are like the most laser targeted, that would make me cry like all at once and making me a quiverful emotional wreck. Yeah, no fun. That's actually that's pain pickle. A recurring one I had for a while that wasn't scary but felt more real than the others is like I was in like an Edo period, like 1600 era castle, and I had to like commit essentially Sudoku, but I had to like slash my throat with like a kunai. Like I couldn't do like the ritual disembowelment thing with a second. I had to like stab myself in the throat with like a kunai or a blade. And that one sucks. It doesn't scare me, it just makes me sad. Like, oh, let's not do that again. And it doesn't make me sad in like a emotional sadness way. It makes me sad in like a, oh yeah, that happened and that really sucked when it happened, which is kind of weird way. And it's like, it has nothing to do with like my, like I don't have a negative mental state constantly. It's just that specific situation recurring. And there's never any variance. It doesn't occur in different places. It doesn't occur in different time periods. And it's literally the only dream out of like 2 in which I die. But the other one was like not realistic at all and like is interesting enough that I've written the story of it out to friends and they were like, holy shit, we could make a video game out of this. Let's get the extra remote. Yes, I worked in Japan for a while as well. So like when I'm speaking Japanese, I'm not just reciting from like pre-memorized phrases or anything. I just am just speaking just off my mind. Like I actually think in Japanese, so I don't, if I like start bragging about something, I actually have to like force myself to translate it back to English. When I'm like playing games and I'm not like saying something that I've thought about ahead of time, just reacting in the moment. actually do have a collection of katana. I wouldn't have been allowed to have them in the past, so... It feels kind of nice to have them now. I mean, I've been like thinking half on, half off in Japanese since I was little, so. Which my mom always found weird because she's never spoken it to me. And she can actually speak it. And she was like, how? And I'm just like, I can do the thing. Do you see how much emotional damage this is, though? Emotional suffering, rather. And actually, I'm starting to cut the underside, so I should cut this little layer out here. In terms of just, like... getting a nice cutting is so hard. Oh yeah, there are tons of them. And like a lot of the idioms that essentially have the same meaning are entirely different. Oh, this is gonna be such a pain to come back to. Exactly. Cool. This might be. Yeah. It's a weird thing where it's like, it's very relaxing once you get into it, but sometimes I dread starting. I'm also not, like, you can be lazier than I am with it, I would think, but it will show in your final product if you're lazy. Oh, that's how I feel every single time. Wait, am I? Yeah, I'm taking a little bit much here. I see, this little like dark part is actually the shadow. And like, you see how close I'm working right now? Like, a lot of the details that I work on are stuff that I'm pretty sure most humans would not perceive. But it would bother me to leave it unaddressed. Like, I'm currently working at over 2,100% magnification. But the most interesting thing is that, like, to me, that, like, I'm zooming in. Like, the level of detail that I'm, like, making sure to get, like, you can't, like, I'm pretty sure you can't see it when I zoom out to, like, 600% or something. Like, you'll stop seeing the details that I'm differentiating by. But it just bothers the heck out of me not to do it properly. Also, Tachi, know we're coming up on time for trying. I will do my best to finish this up quickly. Here's the problem. I'm not sure where this is like supposed to cut off at though. Do I want to like cut it right in the middle there, maybe? Like this, maybe? Nah, I want to keep. I want to undo that. Curve should be a little more gradual, like that, I would say. I can include that much. Like that, I think. Maybe a little more curved out. Something like that. Let's make this a little more gradual, I guess. Okay, something like this. Kind of hard to say. And it's another thing where, like, here, I'm like zoomed in so far that I would say like I wouldn't even necessarily call this like it's a bit hard to tell like, what you're looking at here. Actually, I can probably lasso exclude. Shoot, I need to draw a straight line, kind of like up like that. Okay. It is so hard drawing straight lines, I swear. And that's why I like zoom in so far and like try to make sure that I like do it exactly in the middle, because I can't draw straight lines. Just another point of failure. Let's see, like I can artificially make my lines straight, but just zooming in really far. Like, this one's hard because it's like, technically they need to overlap in the middle. But, you can see, like, where it's off. This is gonna be such a pain to inpaint, I swear. And then everything on this side is NG. But see what I mean? Like, even just like zoomed in this far, it's still kind of hard to like get it to look super straight without like messing it up. There. And I can probably include a little bit more on this side. I try really hard to be precise. Sometimes I fail, but I would say it's not for lack of trying, at least, you know? I do my best. Okay. This is... Let's zoom out. Okay. That's good enough for now, I would say. Well, we can refine later if need be. And this is... Thank you, that's nice of you to say. Like, this is what I mean, like, sure, I might be, like, off by a little bit, but I would feel like in the end, like, once I actually start rigging / get further in, and this goes into the right folder. Wait. Okay. And one thing I try to do is that, like, when I turn on all of the areas that I've not been working on or whatever, like, it should look essentially fine. Like, it should be hard to tell that I've done anything. Yes, that is right. Okay, cool. I can deselect. Phew. Okay. Yeah, so... Oh wait, no. Deselect. It does. Like, for example, did you see that one part of her eye is missing? Her eyebrow is missing. It's like, where'd I put it? Like, somehow it got moved off, like, and I don't know what happened. Like, I'm super confused right now. When did that happen? Like, unfortunately, like, I can't. Oh shit, this is bad. Okay. Yeah, see, like, I want to undo the deselect and then... But see, like, I don't know how this, like, got moved off. That's terrifying. I'll put it back. Let's get rid of her hair. I need to put it back properly. Okay, I think this is okay. Okay, I can save. Ah! Oh, that was terrifying for a second there. I will figure out later if I messed it up. But I think it's fine. I'll live. And I have a bunch of, like, different copies, but I think I've done a relatively good job keeping the cuts clean / indecipherable from far away. Alright, cool. We got a lot done. Talk to you, Rich. Are you ready to play Trying?
Yep.
Alright, everyone. Thank you so much for watching me here. I hope that you enjoyed this. We're going to switch over to a platformer game and kind of play it together. If you're interested in that, stick around. Otherwise, I hope to see you in another stream. I'm gonna stop streaming just for a little bit because I like to keep these separate, so it allows me to easily separate my streams. So, like, I don't have one giant stream that has to be split after later. I'll just have 2 different streams that are self-contained. Alright, so we'll be back in maybe 3 to 5 minutes. Thank you very much for coming, and especially special thanks to Lumi today for all of the advice. And hope you'll stick with me, and best of luck in your own art projects as well. So thank you so much for all the encouragement. Please stick around if you're interested in the platformer, where I get to be super derpy and all of the things. Otherwise, see you around next time. Take care.